Hello Beauty News family, welcome to the April edition of Beauty News. Today we're going to talk about some new release beauty products, mostly things that we found interesting.
For good or bad reason.
Yes.
But I want to say I was able to see Hailey this week.
Yay!
So I got to see her a couple days this week, which was excellent. We are going to sneak peek that we might have the makeup breakup coming up. So I know that's been something that a lot of people have missed, and we physically couldn't do it, being 4.5 hour flight away, I found out. But yes, we have some stuff coming up, which is exciting. So keep your eyes peeled for that one.
So we're going to kick this off going alphabetical with Charlotte Tilbury. Now, they have released a new fragrance collection. This was not on my 2024 bingo card. These are, so there's 6 different fragrances and they retail for $150 for 100 ml. $25 for 10 ml, or you can get a set of minis that are 1.5 mils for $30. They've got, you know, they cover all of the bases in terms of like the fragrance notes. Not going to go through it all because it takes too long. And these will be available on April 30th on their website and at other Charlotte Tilbury retailers, although I'm not too sure how much that would apply to Australian Charlotte Tilbury. Can we still buy Charlotte Tilbury from the website, Kat?
I think we can.
Yeah.
I think we can. It's one of the few brands that doesn't have like Mecca doesn't have exclusivity rights to.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they would ship fragrances.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So,
it would have to be shipped by sea. And
yes.
then
I have heard a few people, when Glossier opened up to international markets, I had heard a few people get quite upset that the orders was taking weeks and weeks and weeks to arrive, and it's because they would order the fragrance because it had to be shipped by boat. I'm just gonna say, I haven't seen many brands do this and do it well. Often brands bring out 1 fragrance, maybe 2 fragrances, but to bring out like the rainbow, which is what they're essentially doing, of different colors. Like I think back to Body Shop days. I think back when MAC did this. It generally doesn't hit very well.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you're a mega fan, you like fragrance, obviously, you might be interested in trying 1 or 2 out. But for me, like, if I was going to delve into this, I would get the mini set to like just to smell them. But fragrance is one of those things, like, you can't buy it online. You just can't. It's like trying to foundation match or color match your foundation when you're shopping online. Like, it's not guaranteed to work. And even if they tell you, like, they've given you the notes that are in the fragrance, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to suit your preferences, you know. Like, I know that I like bergamot in a fragrance, but sometimes when it's mixed with other things, it freaking stinks and I don't like it.
And they also do adapt differently to people's skin chemistry.
Yeah.
So something that you might think smells nice in the bottle, you put it on, you're like, oh, actually that feels like smells very floral on me or something. I'm just going to say, when I saw this, I didn't think this was Charlotte Tilbury. I totally bypassed it. This to me looks like if it was to fit a brand, it'd be more like maybe Anastasia Beverly Hills. This feels a bit woo for Charlotte Tilbury.
Yeah, it does. It does. All right, moving on to Clarins. I found this recently and then couldn't find any other information about it. I'm pretty sure that this is releasing in a European country and it's not, like, it's nowhere else at the moment. This is the lip oil balms. So Clarins have made their lip oils for years. They're very popular. And now they are releasing them in a balm form. It comes in 6 shades, which I believe are to help mimic the shades that they already have in their lip oil range. And I want these so bad. I really, like, I want almost all of them.
They all do look really nice.
Yeah.
Also, I do like the Clarins lip oils. They did lip oils
too.
before lip oils were a thing, and their lip
Correct.
oils are they're almost like delicious. Like it's like almost a sticky honey texture that looks really shiny, and it doesn't disappear after like an hour like other lip oils do. They do have beautiful. A good lip oil. All right, we vouch to not talk about Colorpop too often, but this is a collaboration that I think some people might be interested in. That's not necessarily me, but it might be you. So there we go. They are bringing out a Beauty and the Beast collection. It's already out as we're filming this, so it is out. It is restricted to certain countries though, so not shipping to mainland China, not Taiwan, not Hong Kong, etc. So there's a few countries that they're not shipping to. But I have to say, I think they've done this collection fairly well. Is it anything that I need? No, but they do have an eyeshadow palette that does have colours that seem like it's drawn directly from the characters. Maybe a little bit toned down, like it's a little bit lighter and a little bit less saturated, but still you can see the blues, you can see the yellows, you can see all the sort of browns from her hair. The inspiration is obviously there. There's also a pressed powder blush. It's in 2 shades. Mrs. Potts is the pink and Chip is the sort of more bronzy colour. There is a Super Shock highlighter. This is one of those big giant marbled ones that it ends up being just like your generic sort of champagne colour. There is a lip mask. This is the Enchanted Rose lip mask. This is kind of cute. So it's got a red rose as the cap, and then you open it up and it's like a tinted lip balm or lip mask. There's 2 lip duos. They each contain a lipstick and a lip gloss. One is themed more after Belle, so it's like a more nudie pink, and then there's one that's themed more after the Beast, which is more of a brownie nude. So they're all very wearable things. They all suit the theme. They all have they're not going with weird designs. Like remember how they did like the villains and stuff, and then they took like the fashion sort of, I don't know, they're not taking weird images of the characters. Like they directly look like they're from the movie, which makes sense. So this is, if you're a Beauty and the Beast fan, this is one for you.
This is actually my favorite Disney cartoon. Like,
it's
absolutely love it. Yeah, it's my all-time fave. I really appreciate that they've used really wearable colors with everything here. There's nothing weird. But it also doesn't really excite me. Like, I look at a lot of it and I'm like, it's very Colorpop as well. Which makes sense because it's a Colorpop release. So, yeah. Okay, here's something from Dyptique, which I didn't even know was releasing until I saw it at the shops when I was with Kat the other day. They have released a Parisian cafe candle collection. There are 4 candles in the range. You've got coffee, cookies, whipped cream, and candied fruit. Now we got to smell all 3 that Mecca has in.
The candied fruit one wasn't there.
They didn't have it. Coffee, it smelled amazing. Cookie made me hungry. And whipped cream smells like whipped cream, which is really...
Nothing.
Sweet like,
nothing.
Yeah, it smells like not much of anything. So they are available now and they are limited edition. They are also selling them in like a mini trio, which I thought was interesting that they had a trio and they were selling the larger 3, but candied fruit was nowhere to be seen at Mecca. So potentially, I don't know, potentially that one was like exclusive to certain retailers. Maybe just Dyptique. I don't know. But go get yourself a coffee one and maybe a cookie one.
The coffee one was good.
Yeah.
If you've got a spare $150 or something to spend on a candle or whatever it was, something ridiculous.
I feel like I'm becoming such an old lady when I see prices now. I'm like, that's absurd. You're absurd.
Do you know how much bread and milk you can buy with that? All right, we've got 2 Elf releases. One I'm going to talk about because I think it is trendy and smart. And the other one I'm going to talk about because I think it's silly and dumb. But anyway, the first one is the Elf Skin Bronzing Drops. So, unless you've been under a rock, I have physically been under that rock because I have not tried any of these products, but I'm aware that they're very popular. So Drunk Elephant have them, Glow Recipe have them. A lot of brands have these sort of bronzing drops that are essentially like a serum that's like a shimmery bronze color. You put it on, it's supposed to be, generally has like hyaluronic acid and stuff in it as well, and it's supposed to just bronze your face a little bit. So if you, which is what bronzers do, and
it's
like,
a liquid
to be
bronzer.
fair, it's a liquid bronzer, and they've been around for like probably close to 100 years now, but they're coming back into fashion, which is the point of this. So there's a lot that are going viral, a lot that has been talked about online, and finally Elf are coming in with their sort of cheaper alternative. Now, what I do like about this, it's $12 US, hooray! So you're not having to spend whatever the crazy prices for the higher end brands are. But also it comes in 3 shades. So a lot of the other brands only have like 1 shade, maybe 2 if they're good, but generally it's 1 shade. It does contain vitamin E and sunflower seed oil, so it is supposed to be a little bit more sort of antioxidants and sort of skincare benefits. The shades are Rose Gold, which is supposed to be fair to medium skin, Pure Gold, which is light to tan, and Copper Gold, which is medium skin to rich. The next thing, which is I think is a little bit silly, and I don't understand this. I tried to do some research because I talked about this on TikTok, and a lot of people had many feelings about this, which is interesting. So they had, Elf had a collaboration with the drink brand Liquid Death. Now, I didn't know what this was. I had to look it up. It is essentially canned water and I believe tea. So the water is the main thing that people buy, but they also have tea varieties. So Liquid Death apparently is supposed to look a little bit like beer or something that's a little bit more brutal than water, and from what I've heard from people in the comments, their sons really like it. It gets their sons into drinking more water because they feel like they're like tough drinking Liquid Death. And then also it's good for people that don't want to drink alcohol at places where that have a lot of alcohol flowing, and then they can not feel so out of place just drinking a bottle of water. So I think that's fine, like cool. That's a product. I think it's probably a smart product if you're talking about like finding a niche in a big industry. You're turning water into like a cool sort of thing rather than a bit of a dorky thing. So anyway, they did a collaboration with Liquid Death. I don't know how Elf and Liquid Death go together, but they do. And this is, I'm going to say this is probably one of the dumbest collabs I've seen, but each their own.
I hate it.
I hate it as well. So it's essentially a set that includes a matte mist, so like a setting spray. It contains a black lipstick that is in a satin finish. We'll come back to that. The No Budge Cream eyeshadow in Wispy Cloud, which I think that is the big white face paint that they're using. There's also a black eyeliner pen, a brush with a putty applicator, so you could actually like scoop some of the, I guess, face paint out and I don't know, whatever you want to do. And then there's also a box that it comes in, which is supposed to be like a coffin keepsake box. The pack is called Corpse Paint, which is apparently this makeup look. So it's the white makeup look with the black detailing. It's a thing that people wear to concerts and whatnot. Now, I don't have a problem with them releasing a pack that creates this look. I don't get it for the Elf audience, but whatever. What I find really frustrating is how bad these products look when they're applied. So I've got some videos that I'll be playing. Essentially, they say to use the white all over your face and then the lipstick, not only on your lips, but around your eyes. And it doesn't actually look super black. It's semi-glossy. This shit's not going to last. I'm just going to say this shit, if you actually want to wear this stuff to a concert and not look like you're just a mixed, messy grey blob by the end, don't use Elf and don't use a lipstick for your black face paint. So this sold out very quickly, and I reckon they probably only had like 100 box sets to sell, to be fair. But this was a very strange collaboration. I get the brands individually, but I just don't think these products are going to work very well for the purpose that they're intended to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, look, Okay, here's a positive that I really like. I think the layout of the box, like the, you know, the coffin, all that stuff, I think it's really cute how they put it together. I like the simplicity of the product packaging. Nice matte black with gold
Looks
lettering.
very Kat Von D.
It does
Old
look
school
very
Kat
Kat
Von
Von D. And that brush with the like putty scoop thing at the bottom, love that. Really, really clever. And everything else I absolutely hate. So, like, I just don't get it. I just feel so disjointed and weird. And I think if I look at it from like a makeup lover point of view and like an artistry point of view, I'm like, none of it makes sense. It's all stupid. The products could at least be good quality and long wearing. You mentioned some people in your comments on TikTok were saying like, it's great because my son drinks the water, which is fantastic. Also like going to venues and drinking that instead of alcohol. I think it's like, it's really good that, you know, brands can sort of market things in a way that make people feel better about like using it or whatever, and more comfortable,
healthier
like path, that's great. I think that's fantastic. But then when that and makeup collides, I'm like, but what's the point? Like, and the thing is, you know, I don't want to be a fucking Debbie Downer about this stuff, but also I'm a bit of a realist in the fact that 99% of this is going to end up in fucking landfill. And it's just like, it's such a waste. Like, nobody is genuinely going to use this until it's all finished. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they might put this on for like a thing, like maybe a TikTok video, and then they're never going to pick it up again. And if anyone does buy it unironically to like wear it to an event, like if you have, I don't know if I'm going to use the right term here, but like potentially I would consider this in the gothic realm of things. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not like super down with.
It's more like death metal-y kind of thing,
death metal. Okay, yeah. But if you're going to buy it and wear it to like a concert or something like that, you're going to learn pretty fucking quickly that like this shit is going to melt off your face and
Elf
not
quality
survive.
Is not designed for a metal concert.
Like, it's just not.
Just
and I just like, yeah, I'm just like, great. This is all like, they've probably spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s of money on the fucking marketing for this shit to be sold and end up in landfill. Like, fuck off, Elf. I'm angry. Here's something else that I found that just made me go, what on earth is this? So this is from House of Sillage, and they make really expensive fragrances in like bougie packaging. So they're like Swarovski crystal studded and all that jazz. Now this is the Batman 85th anniversary women's fragrance. It's limited edition. And the thing that actually got me about this was the description. So they say, in celebration of Batman's 85th anniversary, we present the original Batman hero fragrance, a captivating blend of scents that pays homage to the enduring symbol of Batman, a tribute to the legendary hero in a celebration of Batman's 85th year legacy captured in a bottle. Join us in honoring this milestone and immerse yourself in the alluring sophistication designed for the modern empowered woman who embraces the timeless allure of Batman. Long live the Bat. And they're selling it for $418 US.
That sounds like that was written by like ChatGPT.
AI.
Yeah. It's like, let's do the wankiest way to try to make women think that this is an empowering bat fragrance. Like, it's so silly.
I know,
oh
it's ridiculous. Now, the fragrance notes aren't too bad. Like, top, you've got candied apple, pear, and magnolia. Then you've got rose, violet, leather accord, and the base notes are sandalwood, musk, patchouli, moss, and warm vanilla. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, why is this a thing?
All right, next thing is nicer than the last things we spoke about.
Yeah.
This is a new palette, or it's a new collection, but predominantly a palette from Lethal Cosmetics. So this is the Mellow Grove collection. So it's already launched. It contains the Mellow Grove eyeshadow palette. Now this is supposed to be more of like a spring grunge palette, which I like the idea of. Like there's a butterfly, fine, whatever, but it's got these sort of like rosy berry sort of mauvey tones with a bit of mint and sort of grungy browns. I think this could be this reminds me of like when Lime Crime were at their peak, when they were releasing sort of cool sort of grungy inspired palettes. It kind of gives me that kind of vibe. So this is available now. You can buy it in the palette, or I think you can also buy the individual shades and create your own palette. They've also got 3 new shades of their charged mascara. So there is a bright fuchsia, a bright turquoise, and a deep periwinkle. And they also have a brush cleaner. So this is just one of those sort of tins with the sponge, and you swirl your brush around, whatever. But that's out now. One thing I also wanted to mention, because I've been sleeping on this and I can't believe I didn't realize, they've been releasing some cool sort of multi-chrome things in the past couple of months that I've totally had my blinkers on too. They've released, it was sort of a collection of eyeshadows that were sort of, I think they were holographic multi-chrome shades, as well as sort of those sort of iridescent multi-chromes. But they also brought out like those gel flaky products, those little pots with the holographic gel flaky. They're really pretty. So it's old news, but I thought I'll just mention those because I think they look really cool and really pretty. So there's that. The next thing is on my list as well, because we pick things that we think are interesting, and this one is the next one. Again, I don't necessarily want this, but I think it's quite an okay looking collection. Melt Cosmetics have released their Smoke Sessions 2. Now their first Smoke Sessions, which I actually had, I decluttered it, but I had it, is a green palette. It's quite a dark green palette. A lot of shimmers in there. Apparently they said that that was their best-selling palette. What? Oh. I did not realize that. But anyway, for 420, they've released Smoke Sessions 2, which is a purple palette. So a lot of shimmers, a few mattes, but it's very, very purple heavy. They've also released some gel eyeliners. One is like a shimmery purple, which looks very pretty. And then another one is like a neon chartreuse. And then again, they've brought out these sort of flaky sort of pot products that are multi-chrome. So there's a purpley blue one, and one that sort of looks like it shifts from maybe plum to red to gold to green maybe. But yeah, that's their newest collection, which I think looks interesting. Like, again, I'm not going to get it, but I think if you are a Melt fan, this is probably right up your alley.
I feel like we haven't seen anything from Melt in quite a while too, so there you go.
This next thing I'm excited about. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I think it's interesting.
I think this is really pretty. It's from Natasha Denona. It's the Hygen Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. It's a highlighter, for Christ's sake. So they're saying it's a bouncy face gel wet powder. So this contains an ingredient called 5-avocuta. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is apparently a registered trademark, and it makes the complexion look and feel soft, hydrated, and oil balanced. It contains non-pigmented emollient pearls. I'm assuming that's what's meant to be giving off like the light reflect, but it comes in 4 shades.
I've been looking into this because I find it very interesting. Essentially, this is an extension of their Hygen primer serum sort of range. So they have like a liquid primer serum that's supposed to be hydrating, but also has a lot of that sort of iridescent, translucent pearl pigment
glowiness
that gives you that glow. And this is supposed to be used sort of in conjunction with that. So you can either put that down and then this all over your face, or you can actually drip the primer into the pan, mix it into a paste, and paint it on your face. Now, when they say it's like oil balancing or whatever they said, this shit makes you look like an oil slick. So just calm your farm. This is not for the faint-hearted. Of course, you could use it as a highlighter, but you can use it in different ways. Now, essentially, the way I think of this is if you think of like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter and all those products that sort of stemmed from that. So those liquid illuminator products that are supposed to be used as a base product. This is sort of like a pressed powder version of that. So you can use it in different ways, but essentially it's putting a highlighter all over your face. Yes, it might be infused with skincare, but it's putting highlighter all over your face. It's going to work for some people and not for others. I do have to say that these actually look like nice highlighters. I would swatch them because they actually look, again, beautiful. That glass skin rather than that sort of metallic strip that we see sometimes. So I think this is interesting, but I don't think many people can get away with using this. And to the point where I've seen like before and afters and demos, and I actually think a lot of them look worse with it on because it actually just makes them look very sweaty and gross. So it's totally up to your preference. But this is sort of like that sort of liquid highlighting trend for people that maybe can't handle the liquid and want a powder version.
I didn't realize that they were trying to market this as an all-over product.
Yes.
And I think if you are looking at this and thinking, oh yeah, I'll use it all over, then I don't, no. I mean, it's a highlighter. It's pretty clear that it's a highlighter. You can take any highlighter that you already own and put it all over your face and see what that's going to do. And then you can make a judgment call about whether you're the type of person who can wear highlighter literally all over their face. Now, if you don't have a highlighter at home, you can jump on YouTube and you can look at the full face of highlighter challenge that we all did like fucking 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. I do have to say though, this is where I think that mentioning those sort of non-pigmenty pearl things is actually fairly important to this, because obviously there's some color to this, but I think the majority of the shine comes from pearl, like a pigment that doesn't have a base color. So it's not, and
I like that.
Yeah, I like that as well, but it means that you can theoretically put it all over your face, whereas a lot of other highlighters you might have in your collection, they're going to be like bold gold or like really bronze or really champagne. So if you put it on your face, it actually blanks out your skin, whereas this is less inclined to do that. Again, do I think this is going to be for everyone? Absolutely not. Do I actually think of the demonstrations that she does like on Instagram, on models and on herself, does it look good? Not in my opinion, but maybe in your opinion it does.
Just because something contains skincare ingredients and someone says you can put it all over your face doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah, but seeing that, like, and I'll put some footage up of like them dripping the primer liquid into it and then mixing it as a paste and painting it on. There's something about that that makes me like really bleh. Like it's just bleh. I don't personally like it, but
I mean,
each their own.
That is a really fantastic way to like ruin a powder product, and
unless it's designed to do that though.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a cream to powder. I don't know. I want to touch it.
I want to touch it
but
too.
I suspect that like when I go into a Sephora to like swatch it and feel them, it's just going to be like fingers have like gouged it.
Probably.
You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Okay, we've been seeing some pretty cool fragrance brands pop up here and there, and this caught my eye for just reasons that I thought it was interesting. It's from Snif, which is a fragrance brand, and they have like a sister brand under Snif called No Noses, and No Noses makes weird fragrances. So the two that they've got at the moment, or the two newest ones, Slice Society, which is blackcurrant, basil, tomato sauce accord, iris, crust accord, and sandalwood. And then they have the Soda Snob. This is fizzy lime, cinnamon, secret cola accord, jasmine, caramel, and vanilla.
I want that one so badly. I'm just gonna put it out there. Fizzy lime and cola just spritz me head to toe.
Cool. Yeah. So Slice Society, if you didn't guess, it's meant to smell like pizza, and Soda Snob is meant to smell like fizzy soft drink, basically. Yeah. I think it's meant to be, I think it's meant to mimic like Coca-Cola scent or a cola scent. So they sell for $65. They are actually available. They're not sold out. You can buy a bundle as well. But they have some other interesting fragrances on their website. So we've got Crumb Couture, which is meant to smell like a bakery, essentially, like baked goods. And also Dead Dinosaur, which is meant to smell like an old car. And I think they didn't specify it exactly on the website, but I think it's supposed to smell like petrol, which is disgusting. Yeah, yeah. But this I can kind of get behind. This is a little bit like
soda one so badly.
It's quite fun.
All right, last thing. This has just been shown on Trend Mood, so it's not like we don't have official dates and info, but it's interesting. It is interesting. This is a new addition to the All-Nighter family from Urban Decay. So they're finishing sprays essentially. This is the All-Nighter Hyaluronic Acid Dewy Setting Spray. It's a waterproof fixing mist that has a luminous glowy finish. It's formulated with hyaluronic acid and watermelon extract. And it hydrates the skin and has a fresh scent. And it's got the iconic long wear formula to keep your makeup looking fresh for up to 16 hours. And it's supposed to be $36 US. So I don't know when this is coming out, but it's got a beautiful pink bottle. And I'm going to say I would actually try this. I did a little experiment last year in winter. My skin was like freaking the hell out and it was sort of dehydrated in areas, oily in areas. I couldn't get anything to last on my skin. It would either flake off or like come off with the oils. I was having a horrible time with my bases. I was doing little experiments every day. I tried the All-Nighter setting spray because I had it in my drawer and it worked a treat. It did hold your makeup a lot longer, but I found that it was irritating my skin if I wore it too many times in a row. So I just feel like it was sort of stripping my skin and giving me like sort of, my skin was sort of reacting to it. The fact that this has hyaluronic acid and watermelon extract, I would be more inclined to give this a go. Also, I like the fact that it's got more of a glowy finish because sometimes you want your makeup to be set, but you don't want it looking dry and sort of flat and matte. You want a bit of a glow. So I think this is a really good move from them. I'm a little bit bummed that they have the same purple sprayer lid. They've got this beautiful vibrant pink packaging with chartreuse, and then they've got this old school like, oh shit, we've got to use up these sprayer lids. Like, dude, they're like,
that's our signature. It's so ugly.
Anyway.
And also, you know what I hate about that sprayer? I've actually got one right here. It's like this mock kind of, almost like they've tried to go metallic with it. And it looks so crap. When I saw this, I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to say, I don't really like Urban Decay as a brand anymore. I just haven't used anything from them in a long time. Like I tipped this out. And it's now isopropyl alcohol for washing my brushes. And I kept it because it's got my name on it. But as a brand, like I haven't really used anything that I've loved in a few years. This does look good though. But I also question like if it's giving you a glowy finish, but also locking in your makeup for like 16 hours, how is it doing that? Like,
but it can though. Yeah, I feel like the mentality...
I'm wondering if it's going to be like the sort of like hairspray-ish where it gives you...
I don't think...
that sort of...
I don't think so.
...glowy finish.
I think, honestly, I think gone are the days where set is matte and dry and glowy is oily and sort of slippery. I think that's actually doesn't apply to a lot of base products these days. From my experience, you can get some... And a good example is actually the new Morphe foundation. You can get like a foundation that does give you some glow but stays on your face, doesn't break down. So I think this is just using certain ingredients that doesn't look dry and matte. And also like there's always mattifying versions of these setting sprays and they've got bits of powder in them to like literally just dry up, like to soak up the oils. So I think you can do it. My only question is for me, and this is because, you know... life's about me, not really, but is this going to be as harsh as the original? Because I just found the original to be too harsh on a daily basis. Also, I know some people are going to be really annoyed at the inclusion of hyaluronic acid because hyaluronic acid a lot of people are sensitive to, and they're just like, oh, I don't need another thing with hyaluronic acid in it. But hyaluronic acid, depending on your climate, if you put it as your final layer, it can actually take out the moisture in your skin, and that's the issue I have with it as well. So if you have it on the top layer and you're in a dry climate, it's actually going to suck out the moisture and make you feel drier. So that would be a hesitation that I would spray this in store and have it play, but I wouldn't be I wouldn't trust enough to buy a whole bottle personally.
I wouldn't pick this one up myself either. But I want to know what people think of it. I would watch reviews on this one.
I would too.
All right. So that is it for beauty news this month. Leave your comments down below, anything that we talked about, or if you saw something else released that you have thoughts on, you can share it down in the comments section. We read them. We don't respond to them. No, we do.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but sometimes we do. We do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, do all of the YouTubey things, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.